Greetings, gamer guys and gals. I'm Zeake, welcoming you to the 22nd part of my Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Let us continue. Mainal Cathedral. You have done excellent work, Ike. Thanks to you, the wound that has scarred Begnion for many long years can finally begin to heal. As promised, Begnion now offers its support to Crimea's restoration. However, Prime Minister Sephiran has yet to return, which limits the reinforcements I can provide. Be that as it may, what troops I can spare await your command. Use them as you see fit. I understand, thank you. That's good news, isn't it, Princess Crimea? Yes, it is. This has taught me a valuable lesson. Our land needs the Legus. I also believe that Bjork and Legus need each other to survive. The previous apostle, my grandmother, was desirous of such a world, as were my own parents. Princess Alencia, your father, King Raymond of Crimea, was a true pioneer in the area of Bjork-Legus relations. In the very near future, I will give the Imperial Senate a few suggestions on achieving a fully integrated society. I doubt the road will be easily traveled, but I can no longer turn a blind eye to these issues. Princess Alencia, you must rebuild Crimea. If you are successful, we will join forces and change the world. Empress Sanaki, your vision surpasses even mine own. My father would be so pleased to hear your words. Looks like you're through with me. I'll wait outside until you're finished talking. Hold! I am most definitely not through with you. Huh? What did I do now? You're as impudent and impatient as ever. Heed me, Ike. If you are to help lead the Crimean Liberation Army, you must be given a more appropriate title. If you're talking about making me a noble, I'll decline, thanks. That's not my kind of thing. You are not in a position to refuse. Giving some nameless mercenary control of Begnion's troops would be problematic. And more importantly, it would affect the troops. You will resign yourselves to this and receive peerage from Princess Alencia. What? No, wait. This is absurd. Blast of all the foolish. I'm sorry about this. If you're absolutely opposed to it, I won't force you. No, I have to do what's necessary. What am I supposed to do now? Put on a fancy, funny hat or something? Will you lend me your sword? Thank you. Now may I ask you to kneel before me? Thank you. All right, let me begin. In the name of House Crimea, I hereby grant you the title and rank of Lord and all the honors it conveys. Rise, Lord Ike. And we get our promotion of Ike. Amazing. We're about to see his stats turn from pretty darn good to pretty darn great, and he still has much to grow in. And I do really like his redesign in this game. It does look very lordly, which is probably the reason why they didn't continue with this design. Pretty amazing. It is done. What an odd feeling. Aha, your new rank suits you. I completely agree. Yes, it truly does. You know what's really interesting is that Fire Emblem doesn't ever really give you understandings as to how promotion works in the games, except for maybe 3 houses. You know, the reclassing is more or less like you learn it, the skills, and you get tutored in it, and then you certify in it. But in this game, Ike just kneels before Alencia, and she knights him. She makes him a lord, and he rises, and he has a totally different outfit. He's wearing totally different clothes. He looks totally different. And then they're all like, oh, your new rank suits you. His rank is in name only. So obviously, in the story, his promotion was like a physical action. It was something that actually happened. What we just witnessed wasn't just gameplay mechanics, it's part of the story, which I think is kind of funny. It's pretty interesting how that promotions in Fire Emblem games work kind of in a mysterious way, and I like it. I suppose so. Not that it matters to me. Western Begnion is home to a great forest. At one time, these woods were home to the kingdom of Serenus and ruled by the Heron clan of the bird tribes. Following the Serenus massacre, the forest lost its color and vitality. Some said it was the sorrow of the goddess made real. For 20 long years, the devout citizens of Begnion trembled in shame and loathing over the crime they had committed. The Begnion Empress, Apostle Sanaki, stepped forward as representative of her countrymen. Kneeling before the surviving Huron prince and princess, she gave voice to the apology of the people. She spoke not as one nation to another, but as neighbors on the same continent. The massacre was unforgivable. However, hatred breeds hatred, and if the cycle of grief and anger is not broken, it will continue for time without end. It was with this in mind that the Hurons accepted the Apostle's apology. And so it was that the Serenus Forest was returned to its former glory. Afterward, as payment for Ike's service, Princess Alencia gained the services of a regiment of Begnian Army regulars. Though of common birth, Ike receives peerage from the princess and is given command of the army. As the first snow of the season falls, the newly commissioned General Ike takes control of the Crimean Liberation Army. He leads it towards the knife-edged mountains that mark the border between Begnion and Daein. Chapter 18. Crimea Marches. So they've left Begnion, have they? According to our spy, they march with a regiment of Begnion's army. They plan to take a land route through Daein and then into Crimea. Ha! They plan to cut across Daein with nothing more than a single regiment at whose core is a tattered band of ragtag mercenaries? Gawain's son leads this rebel, yes? How does he stand up to his father's legacy? He doesn't. He's just a boy, not yet worthy of his father's name. Disappointing. Though his skill with the blade is rough, there is something uncanny about him. People seem drawn to him. And not just Begnion's apostle either. He's also gained the trust of the Serenus survivors, and of King Phoenicius as well. The Hurons are alive? It appears that 2 members of the royal family survived. Look how nicely the table's been set for us. Bring one of them to me, I care not which one, and I want the medallion as well. As you wish. Once we cross that great wall, we'll be in Daein. Look there, atop that building, Daein Wyvern Riders on patrol. They won't be happy to see us. Tell me, General Ike, have you faced Wyvern Riders in combat? Only a few times. I got the impression that the Kilvis Ravens were the more dangerous foe. If that's your impression, then you have yet to fight true Wyvern Riders. What do you mean? I have no way of judging the ones we see here, but I know another unit, one that was attached to Begnion's Temple Guard. They had their reasons for leaving, but the important thing to remember is that they are exceedingly powerful. Which explains why the Apostle sent you to accompany us? That's right. Pegasus Knights fare better than most against Wyvern Riders. We know the skies as well as they do. Yeah, I think I would beg to differ about that one, Tanith. A weak and fast unit against a strong and defensive unit, both flying or no, is not always the best case, especially since Wyvern Lords and Riders are defensively quite strong, but resistantly, they're quite weak. Magic is pretty useful against them, and we'll see that coming up very soon. Yeah, I prefer to keep my feet on the ground, thank you. Can I entrust the flying business to you? Of course. We'll bring honor to the name of the Apostles' sacred guards. Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. Gained 1,600 gold, and Marcia was our MVP. Pretty good. There were no deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. With your leave, I will excuse myself. Alright, so back at base. Let's go ahead and look at info first. General Ike, all troops are ready to move out. Alright, can you have them wait? Do you want them to fall out and wait in their tents? Or would you rather they form up and stand at attention? Go ahead and have them stand down. I'll call them when I'm ready. Yes, sir. Begging your pardon, sir, all troops have been ordered to stand down. However, General Tanith requests her orders. Are her Pegasus Knights to stand down as well? Am I supposed to decide that too? General Ike, you've been given command of the entire army, sir. We will not move without your orders, sir. General Tanith's troops are to follow General Tanith's orders. Understood, sir. General Tanith's Pegasus Knights will not be deployed unless there is a request for reinforcements. Those are the orders of General Tanith. By your leave, sir. Tanith, do you have a moment? General Ike, what is it? Is there a problem? I thought you might be able to provide me with information. Yes? What can you tell me about King Daein? I'd like to know something of him before I have to face him in battle. Truth be told, I've never fought him either. I cannot give you any specifics, but I will tell you what little I do know. Please, whatever you can tell me would be appreciated. Ashnard's coronation. Let me see. Yes, it was 18 years ago. You see, a plague had struck the capital, spreading out to affect the surrounding region of Navassa and beyond. Ashnard was crowned the year after that great tragedy finally subsided. In the entire history of Tellius, no calamity has claimed the lives of so many Bjork and Legus, not since the Great Flood. 2 years before, it struck Begnion, and the entire population of Serenus was nearly obliterated. The year after that, close to 1,000 Bjork, nobles and peasants alike, perished in Daein. Nobles, you say? So the royal family fell victim to this plague as well? Yes, the reigning king and queen and some 20 or so princes and princesses fell ill, and everyone who fell ill perished. For a time, the people despaired of losing the entire royal bloodline of Daein. It seemed that none would survive. And yet Ashnard survived. He did. It is quite interesting, in a sense. You see, his name was never mentioned in any talk of succession before that time. He was of such a distant bloodline that he was unlikely to be king. In another place, though, his name was already well known. Where was that? On the battlefield. As you know, Daein is home to many brave warriors. At the time, then Prince Ashnard was said to have been a match for an entire troop of Pegasus Knights. Begnion and Daein both keep close watch over their borders, and their patrols fought in many skirmishes. Although there was no war to speak of, these land disputes did end with Daein claiming a small portion of Begnion soil. It would be no exaggeration to say this is solely due to the strength of one man, Ashnard. Forgive me, I have spoken longer than I intended. It's about time we get back to business of marching preparations. No, thank you for telling me so much. If we have another chance, please share more of your stories. Understood. All right. Ike, which troop should we fall in with? We have received no orders yet. Tormod, Moram, I know I've asked you many times, but are you sure you want to be here? You keep asking that. Maybe you don't want us here, is that it? I don't know what to think. No, it's not that at all. To be honest, the battle ahead is going to be hard. It looks bleak. I'd rather that those without direct ties to Crimea not get involved. A bleak battle? What about trying to free all the slaves in Begnion? No, those were bleak battles. Bleak battles are our specialty, right, Moram? Yes, you are. Yet thanks to Ike's time at Begnion, things have changed completely. That's right. The Apostle has promised to press her investigation until there's not a single Legu's slave left in the entire nation. So there's no reason for you two to continue fighting, is there? You don't owe me anything. We're going to fight with you, Ike. We want to help. It is our right to join you in this, just as it is your right to refuse us. To be perfectly frank, I would be willing to beg to get you to join us. Both of you. All right? All right. Ha ha ha, you can count on us. I mean, we'll be able to count on you for something. Alright. Now, Mia doesn't have very many supports. A lot of the characters I chose don't have very many supports, to be honest. Aha. Adept. And Ike is receiving it. Absolutely. There is one other skill that Ike will be getting later on in this game that will complete his capacity in all the skills that he is going to be using in this run. And with it, he becomes potentially the most powerful unit in all of this game. I won't spoil it though. Alright, so we did get a bunch of bonus EXP. However, all of our units are promoted, and we don't really need it whatsoever. So, we're going to go ahead and save it for the time being. And then, let's go ahead and check out what items and weapons we can give to all of our units again. I did previously buy some weapons and whatnot to give to my units before I made the realization that, oh wait, I can't exactly bring fully loaded stuff with all my units in Chapter 17 due to the fact that there is some stuff that gets dropped. And you kind of want to keep it, you know. Alright, and I guess we can throw the heavy spear on Titania. We could put it on, well, I mean, the effectiveness and the damage doesn't really matter that much. So it's kind of pointless. Alright, that's, well, actually, yeah, do we have anything to sell? We do have a lot of fires. Alright, so we're not using fire at all with Soren. We might get to use thunder after he receives an A in wind. We're not using anyone with light magic, so that's pointless. No one with the demiband yet, but that's too valuable of an item to sell if you are going to use at least one Legu's. Aha, arm scrolls. Missed. A sea and swords. We're going to go ahead and take one of these arm scrolls and use them right now. So now she has a B in swords and A in staves. I can't wait until she has an S in staves, so we really don't have to worry about it. For my strategy with Mist, she requires a B rank in swords by this point in the game. We shall see why that is very soon. Alright, let's move on. Tor Garen. My lord Ike, are preparations complete? Yes, the enemy should not yet be aware that we've come this far. We're going to launch a surprise attack and try to capture the wall on our first charge. Please wait for us at the base camp. Very well. There's no need to look so worried. We're well prepared, and we've got you as our good luck charm. I don't think that... I would not be at all flattered if somebody called me a good luck charm. Thank you for that, but do be careful, my Lord Ike. I want to say that there was a parenthesis after that, but she just agrees with me, because who would want to be called a good luck charm? Hey, don't worry. This may be our first battle as an official army, but we've fought Daein many times. We're going to win, after all. I can't lose my very first battle as a snooty noble, now can I? I believe in you, and I know that you will be victorious. Come back safe. Is everyone ready? Let's move out. Hold a moment, my Lord Ike. In the sky, something's coming. Who's that? Ah, Ike. Well met. It appears that you're getting ready for your first battle as Crimea's army. And you're escorting the Huron siblings back to Phoenicius, right? That was the original plan, but someone here insisted that we follow you. Quite unreasonably, I might add. You treated us with courtesy, Bjork. We must act accordingly. Isn't that so, Leanne? You said your name was Ike, correct? Yes. You aided my sister and me during a time of danger. We Hurons hold courtesy in high esteem. We must repay our debt to you. That's really not necessary. We are practitioners of Sade magic. We cannot fight, but we can imbue our allies with strength. If you so wish it, I will travel with you. In this way, I will repay you for what you have done. Alright, so we do have a choice to allow Rayson to join. Now, I would dare say that even if you absolutely do not like how the Legu's units in this game are treated, Rayson is an exception to the rule, and probably the greatest exception to the rule there is possible. And the reason is, we will soon find out. I have to allow him to join. I've never refused his request, and I don't think I ever would. You were lucky to find your sister. Shouldn't you stay by her side? Leanne understands what I do. I see. In that case, welcome. Thank you. I swear on the honor of my clan to do all I can to strengthen your cause. It's settled then, and you'll get aid from me as well, Janoff. Right here, Your Majesty. You'll go with the Crimean Army and protect Rayson. Leave it to me. You too, Alki, all right? Of course. Tibarn, it's too much. I cannot accept this. You're already watching over Leanne and my father as well. These past 20 years, I know what it's been like for you living in Phoenicius. I'm only sorry I can't do more. Tibarn, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. King Phoenicius, I will guard Rayson well. When Crimea is retaken, I will see him safely return to you. I will take you at your word. Your actions have created a bond of trust between yourselves and the Hawk and Heron clans. If you find yourself in a dire position, you can call on me. No matter what, I will fly to your aid. We gained a strong ally where we had not thought to look for one, didn't we? Yes, Bjork and Legu's. Beast Tribe and Bird Tribe. There's no difference between us. We finally understand one another. There are exceptional differences between you. If it was like the real world, where race is literally just skin color and doesn't exist, there's no such thing as separate races. We're all one human race. But Legu's and Bjork are actual different races. There is an extreme difference, Ike. My goodness. They try to play way too much of the political aspects of this game concerning like racial problems and tensions in the real world, when this far outweighs that, because there is actual difference between these people. There is not real difference between any human being. Yes, I think you're right. Now let's really get started. Everyone, move out. All right, so We're probably going to have to take a little bit of time here to talk about some of our wonderfully newly attained units. We're only going to be using 1 out of the 4, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of gloss over the other 3. Starting with Tanith. Tanith is a pre-promoted Falcon Knight. And judging by her stats alone, you would say, well, you could get a unit better stats than that at her level. Marsha, Jill, definitely. However, do not discount Tanith. I think Tanith is a wonderful unit, and I think what she offers, especially since she comes with A rank in swords and B rank in lances, and she can use the Sonic Sword. What is this? A sorceress blade that uses magic, not strength to attack? Range 1 through 2. Ooh, and 10 might. Wow, what is this? Huh, I wonder. It's a B rank too? If you haven't guessed already, this is going to be Mist Sword very shortly here. But even without the idea of using it on Mist and taking advantage of Mist's incredible magic stat, Tanith still has a pretty decent magic stat, and she has a pretty fair growth. It's not tremendous, but on fixed mode, she's probably going to get around 14 or 15 magic by the time she caps, which is still good. And if she gets 14 magic, you get 3 Spirit Dusts in this game. You can very literally cap out her magic at 20 and have her use this weapon, and against flying units, she'll have 40 might. That's pretty great. It's pretty fantastic. Let alone that she comes with a skill that no one in this game other than her can have. And that is Reinforce. It allows unit to call partner reinforcements. This is actually a really powerful skill for some strategies. I've used it on many occasions, and even though the Pegasus Knights that she calls in are nothing great, they're also not really anything to scoff at. They're useful for certain strategies, for like baiting enemies in and stuff like that, and especially on the harder difficulties, they can be really helpful. And I would dare say that, in a way, Tanith brings something to the table that neither Marsha or Jill, or in fact any of the other flyers in this game, can offer at all. And I would dare say that there is only one or two other flyers in this game you literally get in the very last chapter who have better utility than her. Problem is, you only get them in the last chapter. So that's kind of a weight against itself. She's great, and I would use her if I had the spot for her, but I do not. We also get Janov and Alki. Now, these two are both basically the same unit. Janov is a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. I should say a little bit faster. Janov is more or less like the Myrmidon of the skies, whereas Alki is more or less like the mercenary of the skies. He's got a bit more strength and a bit more bulk, but he's still comparable in a way. Now, they both come with their own personal skills that take up no capacity, which is pretty cool. Insight increases hit percentages, and Vigilance increases dodge ability. Vigilance is kind of it's misleading. It increases both avoid and dodge, whereas Insight only increases hit and crit. I believe it increases crit by 5. It's not very much. They're both useful, and out of all of the Legus you get in this game, I would say that Janov and Alki are some of the more useful, especially because they're flying. And because of their personal abilities than just about anybody else. However, moving on to the unit we are absolutely using, Rayson. He is a Huron from the Bird Tribe, and he has 2 skills that completely just... they fill up his capacity, but you don't need anything else. You really don't. Canto grants this unit the ability to perform a chant that lets allied units move again. This is totally dependent on whether he's transformed or not. When he's not transformed, it's 1 allied unit. When he's transformed, it's 4. And they're adjacent to him. It's an incredible skill. And I would dare say that even when he is untransformed, it is totally not debatable as one of the best skills in this game. And then he also has Blessing, which restores HP to the units. in adjacent spaces. Now, I did save some bonus EXP, so we're going to go ahead and go back and use it on our good friend Rayson here. You don't really need him to be a higher level for like combat or anything like that. He'll never be able to have any kind of combat whatsoever. But I like him being a higher level, so it increases his survivability a bit. And that's really the reason why I level him. Besides that, he only gets 10 experience points per battle. Well, I say per battle. He only gets 10 experience points per chant that he does, regardless of how many units he chants. So it's kind of like you're never really going to get experience points with him in a way that's going to be very impactful. So bonus experience points can be useful. Now, there are some people who might disagree, because if you don't put them on the front lines, you don't have to worry about survivability. True. But I would rather be safe than sorry. I do not like resetting, and I don't plan everything out to a meticulous degree. Interestingly enough, our lovely Legu's here, he does not have the ability whatsoever to use the demi-band. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing there, because you would almost think, it would be a great thing if he could, you know. It would be a great thing. But that's just not the case. Alright, we're going to go ahead and choose our units wisely. We're not taking Tanith, Janeth, or Ulki. I do believe that is more than fair exactly who we're going to be taking. Rayson is a very, very viable user of the boots. And in most games, I do use him for that. But you don't have to. It's not a necessity. And we got to make sure that we go ahead and give Mist the Sonic Sword. One thing we can do, and this is wonderful about Rayson, is because he can't use any weapons, we can load him up with like staves or extra weapons to use with our units that would be usable for anyone. So I could go ahead and give him the Restore Staff and anything like that. We might actually need it, because I'm pretty sure there are some units with the Sleep Staff on this. There might not actually be. No, there's not. But we do have this boss here. He has the Tornado spell, which is an A rank wind. This is the most powerful wind you can get in this game, hilariously, because it only has 6 might, which is pretty pathetic. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people do not train Soren in wind strictly and only. It doesn't really matter, because Soren has so much magic that even with regular old wind, he gets the job done. So it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go ahead and take that, and we've got an interesting unit here. Very interesting. Got to make sure we bring somebody else. Why in the world would we bring him? Who knows, but we will find out. Alright, so that's about it. It appears the Crimean Army has arrived. It's time to put your plan into action. The main body of the Kilvis army will wait atop the western summit. A small unit will remain here and cooperate with you. This is correct, is it not? It is. What could His Majesty be thinking? Why does Daein ally herself with some backwater subhuman nation? I don't know. There's no way we can expect to understand the supreme thoughts of the king. All we can do is perform the tasks set before us by His Highness. That is everything. Yes, of course. The Crimean Army has no idea we're aware of their every move. Bah! What vermin! What does that untrained group of vagabonds think they can do? I don't care how talented he is, their commander is nothing more than a young mercenary with delusions of grandeur. We've nothing to fear. We'll show them what real war is like. And the Kilvis Ravens? How should we deal with them? Those subhuman freaks, let's use them as bait. We can sacrifice them and reduce our own human casualties. A fantastic idea. Make sure that the men are thoroughly instructed. Yes, sir. You there, halt. You're an unfamiliar face. You'll know it soon enough. You filthy piece of offal. You will bow your head to a superior officer. He's got a lot of nerve, hasn't he? Is he one of yours? Yes, sir. He's a new recruit who was only assigned to me today. Please accept my apologies for his lack of any training or manners whatsoever. If he's good, I can overlook almost any character flaw. Go and kill as many Crimeans as you can. Help my name be remembered with honor and glory. Yes, sir. Pah. Come to me, dregs of Crimea. I will teach what it means to oppose the might of Daein. All right. Let's get a move on. And we definitely want to go ahead and equip an axe with our friend here, Boyd. Alright. We can rescue Rolf. We don't want him in the way. Yeah, we do have to be very careful because we do have a lovely bolting there. I do believe there's also a blizzard. Yes, there's a blizzard here and a bolting there. They cover some pretty massive ranges, and you kind of want to be careful. The bolting is of nil effect to our Ryson here. I mean, he literally has the amount of attack that Ryson has in resistance, so he's literally doing nothing. But the blizzard here, he's going to be doing a little bit of damage to Ryson. Just a little bit. Not very much. You just have to be careful with like flying units and other weak to magic units per se. Alright, who do we want to send out forward? Yeah, another thing about not giving Rayson the boots is because he'll have 2 less move, which means instead of 7 he could have with boots, he'll have 5. You have to be kind of careful because he can get really behind in your group. And you do not necessarily want that to happen. Alright, we'll have some stragglers back here. Alright. Alright. Ike, it's your turn to show us exactly what you're made of. And don't you just have to love Mia, her Vantage, and her criticals? I can't wait until she has Wrath. That'll be absolutely amazing. Alright. We do have to deal with the reinforcements behind us, but we don't have to worry about that for a turn or two, so. let's go ahead and move on forward. If we can take this guy out with Soren, that would be wonderful. And Wind demonstrating that that's really good enough. I mean, it really is, because if you have a trained Soren who's, you know, not promoted at level 10, even at promoted at level 10, he's going to have decent enough magic eventually that he'll get the job done regardless. I mean, right now, he's not very far away from his magic cap. So it's not like it's going to be that difficult. Alright, let's go ahead and take this guy out. We need to get rid of as many of these 2 range guys as possible so we don't have to worry about them either. Very nice. I am a huge fan of the Axe Colossus. I think it's cooler than the Bow Colossus, to be honest. Alright, so we do have Ike to heal. Firstly and foremostly, let's go ahead and deal with some of these stragglers here. Wow, our Oscar cannot finish this guy off. Probably because he's holding Rolf there, but still. Just not enough damage. And we'll finish him off with the Galatine. Very nice crit. Very nice. Totally useless, but nice nonetheless, you know. You can't hate the criticals that just come out of nowhere. At least from your own units, that is. Heal up Ike there. He definitely could use it. He was only missing 7 HP, but still. And finished you are. Alright, so we should be able to reach this chest right now with Volk. Yep. Alright. And we get the Recover Staff, a staff that restores all HP to a target unit. So regardless of their health, it's going to restore it all. Alright, what we could do here is go ahead and give Oscar a lance, so as to give him some fighting capacity against that warrior there. Oh, the warrior must be a non-moving unit. Actually, I'm pretty sure all of these... that's really weird. The bolting guy didn't even... Oh, wait. That's because this is demonstrating his full movement range as well as his bolting range, but he does not move. I believe he's totally stationary along with this guy here. I believe. I do not actually know for sure, but, you know. Alright, Boyd. I'm trusting you with the duty of taking on these guys here. We do... Yeah, we do definitely want to take care of this bolting guy. Pretty sure he has... Yeah, he has virtually 0 speed. So he'll still be doubled by Oscar. Very nice. I wasn't actually expecting him to double the warrior there, but he did nonetheless. Oscar does have a load of speed. Alright. Yeah, I think it's pretty important to take out any long-range siege tome users, or, you know, any long-range bow users as well, just to get them out of the way. Especially if you're planning on enemy phase tanking with weapons that are one range. And there's no harm in getting rid of bolting. So, there's that. Well, we could do that, but I think what we'll rather do is finish him off with Ike. Give Ike his first KO. Promoted, that is. Pretty alright EXP. We're still trying to get Mist to S-rank staves. And there we go. I knew she was close, but I didn't know how close. I think what would be a good idea is to have Titania help here. Rest of our units can just go ahead and move forward. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of reinforcements down here. I mean, it's not like an exceptional amount, but there's almost more reinforcements and stragglers on the southern part of the map coming from the rear than there is units on the map currently. So I think it's worth having some units in the back taking care of them. Good job, Boyd. Ravens. They betray not only me, but all Legus. Nay, Sala, you dastard. You could say that again. And let's see if we cannot finish this guy. We kind of can't, though. Well, we can't take this guy out. I think that's really the only time that you can kind of notice effective damage in this game is when you're using it with very strong units. I think that's a pretty good example right there. Can I reach from here? Yeah, I can reach from here. Now we have to be very careful about luring in certain units here. Kind of want to be careful about the whole Shinon deal as well. Alright. It's funny, because the light mages in this game, the bishops, I should say, are not very much of a threat, so... Poor guy. They're kind of not really much of a threat in most games, come to think about it. That Night Killer would be very terrifying in most games. And in this game, I mean, he could have done some damage. But Oscar does have a pretty strong support with Ike. And that support is giving him a lot of avoid. So, unfortunately for him, just not his day. Or his day, in fact. And we get our transformation. Very nice. He does get buff stats as well in his transformation. And buffed move. He gets 3 extra movement. Which is actually kind of one of the major reasons why... It's not a big deal for me whether or not I give him the boots. I probably should have, in hindsight. In most runs, I choose either between Rayson or Ike. And this run, I just happened to, choose Ike, so... And we can finish off this night right here, right now, real quick. It's one of the reasons why I didn't get rid of the Armor Slayer. Mia actually makes use of it because otherwise she has kind of a problem dealing good damage to knight units. So there's always that to have to deal with. Ah, that was not very effective, my friend. Then again, I am purposely using a very resistant unit to fight him, so there is that as well. Alright, so somebody who does not, in fact, counter needs to go there. And take, drop Rolf. I guess we can blow a physic or two every once in a while. Staff experience is pretty useful. And we get to see the chant in this game transform for the first time. And man, is it useful. Unfortunately, it wasn't much useful here because we don't want to overwhelm Mr. Shinon or have him attack somebody who can actually counter. That would not be a good idea. I always knew it would come to this, Ike. Shinon, watch yourself. It has been quite a while, Shinon. Quite a while. Alright, so what we do here is we talk to Shinon with Rolf. Shinon? Rolf? Shinon, it's you! Look at you, you've grown so much. You actually look like an archer. Really? Haha. You always did have what it takes. It's just like I told you. You train the right way and you'll surpass both your brothers. I had a good teacher. Yeah, you did. You haven't told anyone else about that, have you? Nope, never said a word. I keep my promises. Good man. Ha ha ha. Shinon? What? Are you with the enemy? Yep. Stop that. I told you things like this happen. Did you forget? But it's not fair. ready your bow. It's time for the pupil to face his master. Alright, so in order to recruit Shinon, you have to talk to him with Rolf and then defeat him with Ike. So that's what we're going to do here. We do have to use a steel sword for it, but no big deal. Curses. Don't move, you'll tear the wound wide open. What are you planning? Do it now, finish me. Ha, idiot. Oh, it looks like our plan didn't succeed. Or did it? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can go ahead and move here. Now we will see some powerful stuff. All right. We should probably do some damage to that guy first. I say some damage, but she's literally finishing him off. I mean, she's still finishing him off here if she gets a critical. One can hope she doesn't, but, you know. Legue's Lance. And she got what we did not want her to get. I mean, you kind of can't help it. Swords Masters and their critical bonus and all. Pretty good level up. Pretty good. All right. Yeah. You can steal his Blizzard if you get him to equip the Wind. However, the only way that you can do that, per se, is if you get everybody out of his range. And then, after you get everybody out of his range, you put somebody in his range that he can only attack with Wind. It's not that difficult, but Blizzard is not that useful, so it really doesn't matter to me. Soren's support with Ike right there gave him the ability to finish that guy off. 1 extra attack, 15 extra avoid. The avoid wasn't necessary, but the attack was helpful. And we can put Mist right up there. No, I do not want to suspend. You know, luckily for us, Ike has some pretty fantastic resistance. You fools! It must be good fortune that has brought you this far. But you'll need more than luck to get over this wall. And he procs his personal skill. In fact, the first time we see it in this game, Nihil, which eliminates all combat-related skills. So my Adept cannot activate against this boss. So Ike cannot actually use Adept on him, which is not really a big deal. It is not very often you see the Valkyrie sword grit in this game. Somewhat of a treat. Alright, we get our first little set of reinforcements there. And we get a silent staff. A staff that prevents enemies from using magic. It can strike enemies from afar. Every type of ailment in this game or status effect, like silence or sleep or poison or anything like that, they all last a minimum, well, a minimum and maximum of 5 turns. There's ways to get out of it. The enemies don't have typically any way to. So there's that as well. Let's see. Yeah, that is one thing about Tornado. It has a lot of hit. And now you will realize the true power of Daein. I let them get too close. Yes, you did. You let me crit you right out of existence. Okie dokie. Yeah, the bishops in this game come with quite a lot of resistance. Heal up Ike, just as he needs to be. Gotta be careful with Mist here, because she is not exactly strong enough to deal with these units. Physically, that is. And we can go ahead and go here and trade with Oscar. Alright, we'll just let them come to our units over here. For the time being, that is. It's actually really unfortunate that Huron's, particularly Ryson in this game, doesn't have the ability to have the quote-unquote Canto of the mounted units. He has Canto as in the skill in this game called Canto, but he doesn't have the Canto of the mounted units. He can't move after he performs an action. I believe none of the Legus can, interestingly enough. So, you know, that's just another negative for them. Wrath. We finally got it. And that's going to come in handy. What that basically does is, at half health, you get 50 critical added to your critical bonus that you have currently. And we're going to be giving that to our resident swordsmaster here. So imagine, at half health, which she can get to very easily, since she's not very bulky, she will have 76 critical. What's so amazing about that is that because she already has Vantage, this allows this unit to attack first in all fights. She's going to always get the opportunity to basically just be a crit monster. We are going to use that later on in a potential. I say potential because I'm not for sure if I'm going to purposely use that for her. But it could be something that we end up using as a strategy to enemy phase tank and defeat a lot of units. Good job, Oscar. Some good old damage. They're not attacking Ike. I mean, it doesn't make much sense here because they're suffering weapon triangle disadvantage against Oscar. I mean, this makes sense here, because they're at least equal and on par with Titania concerning weapon triangle. But, I mean, she's not affected by any of them. That's just Titania for you. A titan of a unit. Nice guard. Alright, so basically the routing of this map, because you do have to route in order to defeat this map, it all is based on how well you can get your units out of this wall as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're just going to have constant problems. Alright, Rolf cannot shove, unfortunately. Alright. We can go ahead and heal up Mist here. Finish off this guy here. Very nice, Mia. It's always appreciated when you are capable of taking out a guy here or there. Alright, let's move on back, and then I'm guessing what we could do here. Do we have anybody to heal? No, not per se. Alright. Let's go ahead and move up and chant for both of these and allow them to move yet again. And we can finish this guy off right here with Soren. Pretty awesome. The sooner we get rid of all of the flying units in this map, and the sooner we get rid of all the units generals, the sooner we are done with the map, so... Alright. Don't need the Regal Sword to finish this guy off, though. Not necessary, Ike. I do love how much more quote-unquote regal his movements and his fighting style is. As first level up to go, not that great. Always could be worse, though. Yeah, I love the fact that Ike's... The treatment of Ike's regality, his becoming regal in these games, due to the fact that, you know, he's been knighted, and after all that, isn't just due to the fact that he has been knighted, but it's also due to the fact that he's been trained by several individuals. Stefan being one of them in the base conversation we had just a little bit ago. Very good, Mist. Only 3 away from her magic cap, which is beautiful. She's turning out to be an exceptional unit. And we will finish you off. And after we finish you off, we'll go ahead and take out the other guy with Titania and call it. Call it a turn. Though we weren't able to actually finish him off, unfortunately. That is okay. Both of them are going to end up attacking Boyd, unfortunately, though. Nice miss. Very useful. Oh, that was not something I was expecting there. Alright, so we should definitely be able to finish off this chapter this turn, which is great news. Yeah, Titania can finish off him, and we'll take out the other guy with Boyd. As long as she doesn't miss, that is. Very good. I could have used the poleaxe there. Oh yeah. Just cannot stand up to Miletus. What a beautiful blue bow. So glad we crafted it. We're going to have to make him a steel forged bow very soon. Something of maximum might as well. Very nice, very nice. Alright. Soren could heal, but that's... honestly, that's not that great of a use. Oh. We could do this. Let's go ahead. Show off the Sonic Sword at range. And a crit. Very nice. One less use of the Sonic Sword is A-okay with me. We do get a Hammern staff eventually in this game, which allows you to repair any item or weapon to full use. I believe it's any staff or weapon to full use, not necessarily just an item. And with that knowledge, you really have to think about like what is worth repairing in your opinion. And frankly, the only things that are really worth repairing, in my opinion, are the A and S rank staves and the magical swords. And the reason being is because you get so few of them. So Mist is almost going to have exclusive access to repaired weapons of that nature. So it's okay if we use it quite a bit. Oh, another thing that's interesting, because she's already at a B rank sword, it is quite possible that she's going to reach A rank sword before we ever get the A rank magic sword. With that knowledge, we could very well use that arm scroll for somebody else. And I already have a candidate for who that would be. Oh, very unfortunate. We cannot reach this bird, Legoose, unfortunately. Oh, it's going to have to be another turn. Yeah, I didn't think about that there. That was this unit here was supposed to be attacked by Marcia. Oh well. Ooh. That was totally unexpected. He's probably going to get one shot, however. And as I thought. Alright. Crud, I lost. This was a plum chance for me to get a leg up in this world, too. Shinon. Ha! And I can't believe that the one who defeats me is little Lord Ike. Looks like I've lost my edge. I'm ready, boy. Go on. Finish what you started. Come back to the company. I don't think so. You've never liked me. As far back as I can remember, you have never liked me. That's right, still don't. You called me a weakling, said I was nothing without the help of my father. That's what you said, right? That's why you hated me. Sounds like me. Don't you get it? I just beat you, so your reasons don't hold water anymore, do they? Pah! It's enough you beat me. Now you gotta talk me to death? I'll say it once more. Come back to the company. I acknowledge your abilities as commander. As commander, I want you with us. Let's have another go-around. I win and I'm commander. Agreed? I win and you fall in line. Agreed? Don't worry, boy. I'll make it quick. Let's go. I do like that conversation. And it's a bit of a hidden thing. You have to kind of pick up on the fact that Rolf was taught, obviously, by Shinon. Well, I say obviously, but taught secretly by Shinon. He was the only one who could have taught him. And especially if you're looking at, for instance, when we first get Rolf and what he says and how he's very nonchalant about how he's just picked up a bow and suddenly knows it. And then you look at like the three brothers conversations in the base, you can kind of pick up on the fact that Shinon was his master who taught him how to use a bow. And then you can kind of see, well, you know, maybe I'll talk to him with Rolf. However, the recruitment, it's still secretive, because not only do you have to talk to him with Rolf, which is, again, secretive, you also have to beat him with Ike, and Ike alone. If you beat him with anybody else, gone. Done. He's not being recruited. General, we've seized control of the surrounding area, and the remaining Daein troops are retreating. General? Oh, right, I understand. I beg your leave. General, eh? Weird. You know, you never look relaxed. Nazir, what's going on? We haven't seen much of you lately. I've been a bit busy. In order to leave Begnion, I had to sell my ship and dismiss the crew. There was a lot to take care of. Is that so? Huh. It looks like you've been caught up in our struggle after all. Are you all right with that, I mean? I know you've got a lot on your own matters to handle, but it's not like I've abandoned my own interest to join up with the Crimean Army. For me, I've judged that there's value in traveling with you, so don't worry about it overly much. If you say so. You're a fairly knowledgeable fellow, so it's nice having you around. Ha! I think that's mutual. Now then, I've got some good news. What is it? Senior officials in Gallia are moving to action. Until now, they've been content to take a defensive stance and wait it out. But it appears this never-ending stalemate has exhausted their patience. Ike, this victory here today was a very important thing. It may prove to be a decisive first step in breaking Daein's power. News of it will spread like wildfire over the entire continent and give countries confidence to speak out against Daein. With Crimea as a rallying point, Gallia may be moved to join this war. You just need to keep winning. If you can do that, the road will open before you. History will be made. Could Daein truly fall at our hands? Can I make that happen? Me? Use what you've been given, and great things will happen. You have it in you to lead, Ike. For now, it's merely one portion of the bird tribes, but your relationship is established. It's because you resolved to gain their trust, and then made it happen. It's all due to my father. If my actions prove to be the right ones, it will be due to the way my father raised me. If you treat others in good faith, they will follow you of their own volition. That's what he taught me. He was a magnificent man, wasn't he? When I was younger, I wanted nothing more than to be as strong as my father, and then I wanted to surpass him. Now, that is a goal I'll never achieve. What's that? The border's been breached? Everyone was defeated, not only the Daein troops, but our brigade as well, cut down like wheat in a field. Huh. Well, that was impressively done. For a band of sellswords, that is. There's nothing else to do. Send a message to the Daein command and tell them the enemy is stronger than expected. At once. Wait! Hold a moment. Yes? Send a Daein human instead. I don't care which one. Just don't use any of our troops. But a wingless human will take such a long time to... General Petrine commands the next fort. General Petrine commands the next front. She's a very temperamental woman. But go if you like. Tell her that the Kilvis Ravens have been defeated. She'll roast you like a chicken and use your bones for stock. Understood. I will find a human. Who's there? Soren? What are you doing here? What are you planning? Where did that come from? I've no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb with me. We're past that. Gallia's decision to join in this war was based on some new information they received, wasn't it? Cat got your tongue? Fine. I'll tell you what you've been doing here. You were to deliver Princess Crimea to Begnion to see if she could garner any support for her cause. And, regardless of whether she got the assistance or not, to judge if she was worthy of Legu's support. Am I wrong? If you figured all of this out, why remain silent? Because your actions were beneficial to Princess Crimea. I determined that even if left to your own devices, you would not harm the princess. It sounds like you don't think that's the case anymore. You accomplished both missions, but you've come back anyway. To what end? I don't have to explain myself to you. That's true, only until I reveal your purpose to Ike. Everyone has a secret or two that he wants to bury somewhere deep. Including you, Soren. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I trust that we understand each other. The army rises early tomorrow. I suggest we turn in. The enemy knew we were coming today. And you think I'm responsible? Yes, I do. My, oh my. You really are suspicious, aren't you? Good night, Soren. Pretty decent bonus EXP. And that's it. That's Chapter 18, Crimea Marches. I'll see you next time.